was asked to wait until they all got back up here, but I was afraid some of them saw I was preaching and they just went out the back door. Oh, there. It's always a pleasure for me to be able to come back to Ocean Park for any reason, but it's always especially fun to be able to come and preach and share and worship here in the temple. And Ocean Park is, for myself, as it is for so many of us, a very special place that holds so much meaning and so many fond memories. And just in the weekend that we've been here, it's just always great to be able to see old friends who are younger. I've known for decades, since we were younger than our kids are now. And even though you don't see someone for maybe since last summer, you just pick up right where you left off, and we had a chance to share in a service of remembrance for a friend of our family, young Yo Boone, who passed away this year. And it's so great to see her sons, Doug and Ed, and his wife Maureen's new baby here. So if you hear someone back over there, he gets tired looking at the fans, that's just Pierce. And we have a large group of our family here. It's hard to believe that my dad turned 80 just a couple of weeks ago. It's nice to have a lot of us here to be able to gather as a family. And looking at the bulletin this morning, you can see that Ocean Park, if you're new to Ocean Park, is a place where many families have come for generations. And it's a place where families like the Pulsivers and the Scalises and the Wilsons are, as you see with the flowers, it's touching on grandparents and great-grandparents. And we've had wonderful leadership here at Ocean Park for so many years. And I want to say a special word of thank you to Ed Ray, who's going to be finishing up as executive director. And it's always been great for me to interact with him and communicate with him. And we thank you for all you've done for Ocean Park, and we would wish you the best going forward. And Jesus says at one point that the wise householder takes out of his treasure both what is old and what is new, and preserves them both. And that's part of what I think is great about Ocean Park. And folks who've been here a long time and folks who are new and come in and help to provide leadership. And I just want to thank Jerry for all his work with the music, and Eric. And I was sitting up here on the platform. I think there's around 30-something people taking part either by sharing their gift of song or on instruments. And it's great for me as a dad to have our two sons, Nathan and Greg, up here playing with the temple brass. And today, they're used to being up front. It's fine. And I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful that Scott has arranged a schedule at Oceanwood that all of you leaders can be here and be a part of worship on Sunday morning. And in the congregational prayer, that line about, and may all those who serve in ordinary, unseen ways sense your love. That line was for all of you from the camp who are counselors, so I'm sure of that. Well, it's great to be here, and it's his, our actually 23rd wedding anniversary, so we're happy to share it with 600 friends. If I asked you, off the top of your head, to write down 2 or 3 of the most important of Jesus' first followers, just pause for a second and think of what names come to your mind. I would guess that many of us would come up with names like Peter, James, John, Mary Magdalene. Now, if you push out beyond that to like the next generation of folks who followed Jesus, probably one of the first names that would come to mind would be, that's right, the Apostle Paul, of course. But certainly less known to us is a person without whom we probably never would have heard of Paul at all. And his name was Joseph. We met him in the passage that Doug read for us earlier from Acts chapter 4. There was a Levite, a native of Cyprus, Joseph, to whom the apostles gave the name Barnabas, which means son of encouragement.